Today, I wanted to come and discuss some of the newest books in my collection that I'm most excited to have. Hola mi gente, MsMalcolmHughes here. Welcome back. Like I said, today I really just wanted to come and discuss some of the newest books in my collection that I'm like really excited to have. Some of them I never anticipated having, and some of them are based on modern trends and what's popping, and some of them are based on current recommendations. People swear they're really good, so I'm excited to read them all and find out. But first I want to discuss it here with you all. And so the first book that I have is an author that I've only read one of their full works, but they're becoming someone who I'm collecting all of their works because I love the first ones that I read so much, and I have faith in their writing ability. And that is Akwaeke Emezi, and the book I have is Pet. And it says, "There are no monsters anymore, or so the children in the city of Lucille are taught. Jam and her best friend, Redemption, have grown up with this lesson all their lives. But when Jam meets Pet, a creature made of horns and colors and claws, who emerges from one of her mother's paintings in a drop of Jam's blood, she must reconsider what she's been told. Pet has come to hunt a monster, and the shadow of something grim lurks in Redemption's house. Jam must fight not only to protect her best friend, but also to uncover the truth and the answer to the question, how do you save the world from monsters if no one will admit they exist?" And so I like the concept of dealing with issues when like society is in denial and no one's willing to acknowledge it, because that's a real world problem that we face. So I've heard good things about this, and I'm looking forward to reading it. This next book has been everywhere. It's The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. Some people swear by the complete work, the complete collection. For this one, I wanted to read the first one first to see if I would like it before doing the full investment. It reads, 17-year-old Cassie Hobbs is a natural at reading people. Piecing together the tiniest details, she can tell you who you are and what you want. But it's not a skill that she's ever taken seriously. That is, until the FBI comes knocking. They've begun a classified program that uses exceptional teenagers to crack infamous cold cases, and they need Cassie. What Cassie doesn't realize is that there's more at risk than a few unsolved homicides, especially when she's sent to live with a group of teens whose gifts are as unusual as her own. Soon, it becomes clear that no one in the Naturals program is what they seem. And when a new killer strikes, danger looms close. Caught in a lethal game of cat and mouse with a killer, the Naturals are going to have to use all their gifts just to survive. It sounds like it could be a hit. This next one is from a writer who his works have been everywhere. And I sometimes like to read folks' debut novels just to see where they began and then see the evolution from where they began and the starting point. In this case, the author is S.A.Cosby with My Darkest Prayer. It says, whether it's working at his cousin's funeral home or tossing around the local riffraff at his favorite bar, Nathan Waymaker is a man who knows how to handle the bodies. A former Marine and sheriff's deputy, Nathan has built a reputation in his small southern town as a man who can help when no one else can. When a beloved local minister is found dead, his parishioners ask Nathan to investigate, but things get complicated, and Nathan must use all his varied skills to navigate the murky waters of small town corruption, even as dark secrets of his own threaten to come to the surface. These next books I have reviewed on the channel, these two, but I was able to get signed copies, and they are The Blood Trials by Annie Davenport and The Blood Gift by Annie Davenport. You all know I love The Blood Trials. I love The Blood Gifts less. But I'm excited to have both of them as signed editions in my collection. Next up, we have one of my favorite historians. Yes, I was gonna say the favorite, definitely, probably, but that is John Henrik Clarke with his work, Who Betrayed the African World Revolution and Other Speeches. And it says, African history as old as world history. In fact, African history is the essence of world history. In order to understand African history in its true light, it may be necessary to place Africa at the center of world history and to start the rest of human history from that center. With the second rise of Europe in the 15th and 16th centuries and the creation of the slave trade and the colonial system that followed, the African people were systematically read out of world history. The Europeans knew then and now that you cannot successfully oppress a consciously historical people. They had to forget or pretend to forget all they had previously known about African people. In order to justify the slave trade, the Europeans created an African people in their mind who never actually existed. They created a people with no known culture and no known contact with a civilized way of life. This was a lie then, and it is a lie now. Dr. Henrik Clarke never came to play. I've really appreciated his works throughout history. As most of you hopefully know, my name, MsMalcolmHughes, is Malcolm X and Langston Hughes, and it was given to me by someone back when I was in Chicago. And Dr. Henrik Clarke was actually one of the folks that Malcolm X would go to for advice and seeking knowledge when he was preparing speeches or doing research. So I have a deep appreciation for him and just his mind as well, and his dedication to Black people. And because of that, and with that, I also got his book, My Life in Search of Africa. In Professor Clarke's opinion, Africans can best change the world by changing ourselves first. To promote that kind of change, John Henrik Clarke has become a role model for African eldership. Those of us who are his disciples are struggling to erect the staff that he passed to us. And that's from Jacob Carruthers about this work. So I'm excited to read more about this and learn more about Dr. Clarke. Next up, we have a goodie, a true classic. If you know, you know, and that is 1996 by Gloria Naylor. After having published critically acclaimed novels like The Women Abuser Plays and Mama Day, Gloria Naylor returns with 1996. In this startling account, we find Naylor buying a house on St. Helena Island off the coast of South Carolina. Here she seeks the serenity of a writer's life. She intends to enjoy life, relax, write in peace, and tend to her garden. Her tranquility is ruined, however, by a woman who feels threatened by Naylor's presence. When this woman's fear spurs a massive covert surveillance operation against Naylor in 1996, the year becomes one of discomfort and confusion for Naylor. So those are some of the ones that I've added to my collection recently. I have so many books that I've added that I can't just come here and be like, hey, let me share all of the books with y'all in one video, because it would just be way too long. But I do enjoy coming and sharing them with you all bit by bit. I'm still unpacking books. So as you can see, the space behind me just keeps growing and growing. And then I'm gonna get shelves and catalog and all of the things to get this library really set up. So I'm super excited. But that's it for today. As always, I'm MsMalcolmHughes, one who believes that books are sometimes better than people. And until the next one, please remember to give time, to be kind to each other, and to have the very best day of your life on purpose. Peace. Odabo. Adios. Ciao.